So today we are just going to cover the functions in Blue Prism. Okay. So how we are just going to use the functions into the Blue Prism, like text function or a date function, any functions in the Blue Prism, okay, or any operators. So if you want to use the functions into the Blue Prism, then we have the calculation stage. Okay? So only within this calculation stage, you will be able to see all the functions which we have into the category wise. Okay, like we have a text function, or we have a date function like this way, or we have operators. So each and every functionalities or functions you will be able to see within this calculation stage only. So let's see how we are just going to use the functions over here. So just create an object. Now here, if you will just drag this calculation stage, and if you will double click on this, so here you can see all the functions. Okay, all the logic functions like and or operator or not operator, equals to, not equals to, each and everything you are going to get it from here. Like in text function, if you'll go, so you can see proper, that is upper, lower, left, right, each and everything. So for example, if I have one variables means I'm just taking a data item. Okay, so suppose I have a data item as a name, and I'm just taking the data type as a text, and initial value suppose I have given as a Ravinder. Okay, now click on OK. So now what I have to do, I just want to convert this into the uppercase. Okay. So let's see how we are just going to convert in uppercase. So if you go into text function, so here you can see the upper function. Now you can see. So just drag this function over here in expression box, and now you can see you just need to write the text between the parentheses which you want to convert into the uppercase. So which one? I just want to convert this. Okay. So now it is asking where you want to store it. Suppose I just want to store in upper result. Okay. Now just connect all these stages. Start to uppercase to end. Now let's execute and see the result. So now you can see the name has been converted into the uppercase only. Okay. Now just rename this one. This is uppercase. Now same, we have the lowercase functionality. Now this is lowercase. So for example, if we have the name like Ravinder, okay, now we just want to convert this into the lowercase. So let's see how we are just going to convert. So in place of the upper, we have to go for the lower. Okay, so I can just write the lower, or if you go here, so you can easily select this lower as well. Okay, so look, we have a two thing. Firstly, what I have done, I can just drag this function into this expression box, and I can just pass the string between this. Or the second way is when you select any of the function from the list, so on the right side you can see the function detail. So it is asking the parameter, right? It is asking the parameter or a string which you just need to convert into lowercase. So what you can do is you can just use this one, correct, and here you can see this paste. When you will just click on paste, so automatically it will be pasted into your expression box. Okay, and now I'm just going to change this one into the lower result. Now okay, just reset this one. Now just let's execute this one. Now you can see, okay, it has been converted into the lowercase only. Okay, now suppose if I just want to fetch the data from the left side, so I'm just talking about the left function. So for example, if I have a data item, suppose employee name, I have taken the data type as a text, and suppose the name as John Hawkins. Now here what I have to do, I have to capture the first first four character from the left side. Okay, let's see. So what we are going to do, we are just going to drag this calculation. I say left function. Okay, so here if you go into text, so you can see the left. So what exactly left function is going to ask? It is ask it is going to ask you two things. One is your text, that is your string, and how many number of characters do you want to fetch. So here in place of text, what I will pass? I will pass the employee name, that this is my string or a text, and how many characters do you want to fetch? I want to fetch the 4 character. Okay, so suppose this is left output. Now if I execute this one, so it will fetch the 4 number of character. Just reset this one. Now execute. Now here you can see the first 4 character is John. But suppose if I change this name, okay, is if I change this name as suppose Christopher, okay, and I just click on OK. So what will happen? It will fetch only the 4 characters from the left side, right? So it will fetch the Chris, right? So let's execute and see. Create, okay, the 4 characters, CHRI. Now you can see the 4 character only. Now I just want to make this thing the dynamic. Okay, so let's see how we are just going to make it. So for example, if I have a string, suppose I have given as a first string as John Hawkins. Okay, suppose I have the another string as Christopher Corey. Now here you can see in this first string in John Hawkins, we just need to fetch the 4 character, right? If you want to fetch the entire first name, so we have the 4 character. But now if I talk about in Christopher, then see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we have 11 character in the first name. But now when you use the left function, okay, when you use the left function, so left function is going to ask you two things. One, you have to pass the text and the number of character, two things. Correct. So text you will pass this string, okay, but number of character, so from the John, if you want to pass the 4 number of characters, so you will write the 4. But suppose tomorrow if the name is Christopher, so you will write the 11. So it means every time you have to change the number of characters manually. So now how we are just going to make this thing dynamic. Okay, so if any name contains in the first name, if it contains the 4 character, then the name should be captured as a John. If there is a 11 character, then name should be captured as a Christopher. It means the entire first name. So for this purpose, you have to make this number of character dynamic. So let's see how we are just going to make this dynamic. So the concept says, here you can see in the string 1 or in string 2, your first character is getting end before the first space, correct? So if anyhow you are able to get the position of first space, for example, if in John, if you calculate the first space position, so that is on the fifth. So fifth minus 1 equals to 4. It means find the position of your first space and do the minus 1. Minus 1 is for remove the space. If you not do the minus 1, so it will capture the space also. Same here. Here you can see if in the second string, if you'll just find the first space position, so it will give you the 12. So 12 minus 1 equals to 11. Correct. So it means what you have to do, you have to identify the first space position, then do the minus 1 and those many number of characters we want. Okay. But how we are just going to find the first space position? Okay. So we have the function as a instr, that is in string. So instr will give the position of any character in string. Okay, it will give you the position of any character in the string. So for example, if I have this name as a John Hawkins, so it will return the first space position as a 5. Okay, so through the in str you can identify or you can capture the any character position. It's not only about the space. Okay, you can capture the position of space comma semicolon dot 1 2 3 abc, any character positions you can get it in any string. Okay, so let's see how we are just going to use this in str. Okay, then I'll just combine this one. So just create the new tab. I say in str. Okay. So now for example, if I have this emp name, data type is a text, and suppose I have taken as a John Hawkins. Now here, if I'll drag this calculation, double click on this, I'm just talking about first space position. Okay, so let's see. So if you drag this text, now here you can see in str. Okay, so what is it asking? It is asking the text and what you want to search. So what is my text? Let's see. So my text is that emp name, the data item which we have created, and now it is asking what string you want to search into this text. So I want to search the first space, so I will just give the space within the double quotes. Okay, because that is a manual text, and I'm just capturing, suppose in I say first space. Okay, so now let's connect this one and execute this one. Now here you can see the 5. Look, in John Hawkins the first space is on the 5th position. Okay, now suppose if I just make this name as Christopher, and if I just execute this one, now run this, now you can see the space is on the 12th position. Okay, clear? So now let's see how we are just going to capture the first name, left function and in str function. Okay, left with in str. So just drag a data item over here. I say this is John Hawkins. Oh, sorry, this is employee name. The data type is a text, and this one John Hawkins. Okay. Now, so just drag this calculation. I say this is first name. Okay, so what I will do is, look, I will use this left function. Okay, so now it is asking the text. Okay, so the my text is this emp name. Perfect. Now it is asking the length. So in place of length, what we will do is we will use the in str function. Okay, so just drag this in str here. Just drag this in str, and it is asking two things. Okay, the text. So my text is employee name. Okay, now it is asking what do you want to fetch. I just want to fetch the position of the first space, then -1. -1 is for to remove the extra space. If you will not do the -1, so it will give you the first name along with the space. Okay, so I say this is first name. So now let's execute. Oh, you have not created data. Okay, so now let's execute this one. Now you can see the John. Okay, and you can see there is no extra space. Now suppose if you change the employee name, Christopher. Now okay, now let's execute this one. Now you can see the Christopher. Okay, so now this function has become the dynamic. Okay, suppose Here if I change as Amy, now if I just click on OK and execute, now you can see the Amy as a first name. So now this first name has become your dynamic. Is it clear, Ravinder, till here, or any doubt?
Yes.
Okay. Now same here, we have the write function. Okay, so let's see. This is write function. So let's see how we are just going to use this write function. Okay. So I have employee name as text. I say John Hawkins. Now I just want to fetch the character from the right side. Okay. So the same syntax we have for the right as we have the for the left. Okay. Text and number of character. That's it. Okay. So this is write function. If you will go here, then you can see the write. Just drag it. Now it is asking two things. Okay. So same here, the text. So this text is the MP name and the number of character. Okay. Suppose I just want to fetch the number of character as a 3. This is right result. So it will give you the 3 number of characters from the right side. So for example, we have John Hawkins. So it will give you the INS. Okay. Now let's execute. Now you can see INS. Okay. Now suppose if I change the last name, correct. So it will give you the Ray, REY. Now you can see. Okay. So it will give the Ray. So this is the write function. Okay. Now, for example, if I just want to fetch the complete last name as we have fetched the completed the first name. So let's see how we are just going to fetch this one. So let's see. So for example, here if we just want to fetch the Hawkins, okay, we have two strings. One is this one and second is this one. Okay. So look here we have to use the write function. Okay. So in write what we need the text and same the number of character. But let's understand here if you will use the write function, so in John Hawkins how many number of characters will you fetch? So look here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so here you will fetch the 7 character. Okay, in Core 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you just need the 5 characters only. So same here, what you have to do, you have to make the dynamic. Okay, this number of character you have to make this dynamic. So let's see how we are just going to make this dynamic. So suppose here if I just want to fetch the first space position, so that will be on the 5th. Okay, and here if I talk about the first space position, so it is on the 12th. Okay. Now here if I just want to include one more functionality over here, that is len. Okay, so len will tell you the length of a string. Okay, so how many total number of characters has been used in any string including the special character also. So let's see how many characters do we have. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So here we have 12 characters in a string. Okay, 12 character in a string. And here let's see how many characters do we have. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. Okay, so we have 17 character in a string. Okay. So now you can see in Hawkins how many characters do we have? We have 7 characters. So the total length was 15 and first space position was 5. So it means 12 minus 5 equals to 7. Okay, same here you can see that length of this one is 17 and the first space position is on 12, correct? So 17 minus 12 equals to 5. It means the concept says for the number of character, the function will be what? Get the total length minus first space position. So this will be my number of character for the right string. So let's see how we are just going to use this one. So before moving on, just simply understand the first the len function. Okay. So here you can use the date item, employee name. Here you can see the, suppose I say Pony Potter. Okay. So let's see. Drag this calculation len. Here you can see len. Okay, so we have one parameter only. Okay, so you have to simple pass the string only. That's it. So just simply pass the employee name. I say this is len result. Okay, len result. Now just connect this one. Okay, now execute. Now you can see total number of characters is 13. Okay, this one. So this is basically the concept of the this one. Suppose if I just write as John Hawkins. Okay. So let's see how many total number of characters should we have? 12 character, right? So let's execute and see. Look, we have total 12 characters over here. Correct? So len function will give you the length of any string. So now let's see how we are just going to use the write function with in str and len. Write with in str and len. Let's see. So here I have this John Hawkins. Okay. So let's see how we are just going to execute this one. So here I will use the write function. Okay. Or directly if you want to write, so you can also write it. Okay, like this way, write. Then open this one. Okay. So I say this is emp name. Okay. Then we have to go for the len. Okay. So len of emp name minus in str. Okay, in str, this one you have to pass in str. Then look, len function will close over here. This is len minus. Okay, in str, then what you have to pass? You have to pass the string first, and what you have to search the space. Okay, not done. Now evaluate this one. So now temporary, if you want to check it, so you can check it. For example, I say Amit Singh. Now if I just test it, now you can see you are getting the same. Okay, so that is perfectly fine. Okay, I say this is right name, or you can give as a last name. Okay, so now let's connect this one and reset this, and let's execute. Now here you can see you are getting this Hawkins. You are getting this Hawkins. Now suppose here I just want to get the first and last name both. Okay, so I'm just going to create a duplicate copy of this one. First and last name. Now click on OK. So let's see first and last name. So this is for the last name. This is for the last name. Okay. Now go for the first name. So drag one more calculation stage. Okay. First name. So here just use this left function. So left. Now here just pass emp name. Okay. In place of length, what you have to do? You have to pass the in str. Just remember, this is a case sensitive. Okay, so same like you have to write it. Okay? In str, then you have to pass the string, comma. I have to find the space -1. So this is your first name. First name. Okay, just create this one. Now, okay. So let's see. Let's connect these stages and just execute this one and see the result. Look, the first name is a John, last name is a Hawkins. Okay, so now here you can see. So if suppose if I change anything over here, I say Chris Corey. Now let's execute, and now here you can see you will get the Chris Corey. Okay, so this is a concept how you are just going to use the first name and last name concept. Okay, now here suppose if we have a separate the first name and the last name and we just want to concatenate. Okay, so let's see how we are just going to use the concatenate. So here suppose if I have one data item, I say this is first name John. Okay, then I have this another data item, last name John Murray. Okay, now just use this calculation stage, and this is concatenate. Okay. So just drag over here. Oh, look. So here, if you'll just go here, so you can see the concatenate. Okay. So if you'll drag this one, so you can see the operand A and operand B. So you will not be able to see this concatenate function. Okay. Like this way, if you drag this left, so you are able to see this left. No. So here is the concatenate function is basically the ampersand. Okay. This and sign is known as a ampersand. So let's see how we are just going to use. I say the first name, and if you want to give the space, so space, and then you have to give the last name. Okay, like this. So I say this is concatenate result. Okay, so let's execute this one. Just connect, and if I'll execute this one, so now here you can see the result as a John Murray. Okay, so this is a concept how we are just going to use the concatenate function. Is it clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Now let's see here if you will just uh, go through this one. Okay, so we have the mid function also. Okay, so for example, if we have a three number of characters, for example, let's see. So suppose I'm just going to take a data item. I say EMP name. Okay, now this is a text. Suppose I say John Grace Murray. Okay, now suppose if I have these three names. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to capture this Chris name. Okay, so this Chris you cannot press through the left function or a right function, right? Because left function move from extremely left to right and right function move from extremely right to left. So in this case, we have to use the mid function. Okay, so let's see how we are just going to use the mid function. Okay, so mid. So in mid, basically you have to pass three things. You have to pass the text, that is a string. Okay, you have to pass the start number from where you want to start, and you have to also pass the number of character. That's it. So we have a three parameters in this mid function. So let's see. I say this is mid function. So if I just drag this mid, so now you can see it is asking the text. Okay, so the text will be your emp name. Now it is asking from where you want to start. Okay, so now here you can see after the first space I just want to fetch the character. Okay, so my start point will be this C. So C on the which position? So 1 2 3 4 space is on a fifth, so C is on a sixth. Okay, so what you will do is you will just pass this as a start number as a 6. Okay, then how many number of characters you want to fetch? Suppose I want to fetch the 4 number of characters, right? For the Chris, oh sorry, for the Chris we have 5, so 5 number of characters. So I say this is mid result. Okay, now let's execute, connect these stages and execute. So now you can see this Chris over here. Okay, but this is not the dynamic. Okay, just remember this is not the dynamic. Okay, so how we are just going to make this dynamic? Okay, suppose if today we have this phrase, okay, so we have a 5 characters, tomorrow it might be we have 4 characters in the middle name. So how we are just going to make this dynamic? Okay, so I'm just going to create a copy of this one. So just remember, look, just understand the concept first. So suppose I have a text as John Grace Moore. Okay, so let's understand. So for example, in this string, if I talk about, so let's see. So this is my text. Okay. Now the next, what you have to find? You have to find the start number. Okay. Start number from where you want to start. Okay. Start point. So look, what is your logic behind it? That my the number of characters we want to fetch and I start number. So my start number will be after the first space, correct? Because tomorrow if in the John we have a 4 character, then space is on the 5, so I just want to start the 6. But suppose tomorrow if in place of John, suppose we have the name as Alexa. Okay, so let's see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then my start number will become the 7. So I just want to make this thing dynamic. So my start number will be first space plus 1. Okay, so this will be my concept. Okay, so start number will be the first space plus 1. Now, how many number of character you want to fetch? So let's see number of character. So look, just identify the second space position. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so second space is on your 12th position. Your first space is on the 6th position. Correct. Now here you can see if you will make the difference, that is second space minus first space, okay, minus 1 equal to what you have done. You said 12 minus 6 minus 1. So 12 minus 6 is 6, or 6 minus 1, that is 5. So you just need to fetch the 5 number of characters. Okay, if you will not do the minus 1, so it will capture the space after this grace. Okay, the second space will come along with your string. So your concept says you just need to capture the second space minus first space, then minus 1. Okay, but now how you are going to how you are going to capture the second space position? So let's understand the concept. Okay, so for example, in this Alexa Chris More, if I just want to capture the first space, okay, so what will be my function? Let's see. So my function will be in str, then the text, whatever the text you want to find, right? Then now what do you find, what do you want to find the position? I said space. Okay, so it will give you the first space position, that is 6. But now if I just want to find the second space, okay, so how you will find? So for the second space, what we have to do, we have to skip this first space. So how we are going to skip? So it means if I just want to find the text, the string over here, right? The second space position. So my start number will be the first space plus one. It means if I'll start from the C and it will move to the right, and whatever space will capture, so it will give you the position of that space, and that is ideally second space. So look, what will be? It will be in str, then the text. Okay, now it is, look what it is asking. It is asking what text you want to fetch. Okay, so I just want to fetch the space over here. Okay, and the start number will be your second space plus one. Sorry, first space plus one. Okay, so through this one you can identify the second space concept. So let's see. Okay, so here in str. So here, if you go, just capture this new one. So here they have, okay. So they have just simply given the functionality that what you want to fetch. Okay. So your text will be your EMP name, and the search will be your space. Okay. Then again you have to use the in str. Okay, so for the second space, there will be another concept because they have not given the start number over here, but in Excel, they have just given that. So there is a different concept over here, which we can just go through. We can just either replace the second space, then we can identify. Okay, we can just go with this minute. Let me find it. Text we can just pass, then we have the start number and we have the length over here. Okay, so this one, the start number will be your first space plus one, and the total length we have to find, right? So we have to find the total length, the number of characters you want to get this one. So we have to find the position of second space. Okay, so through this in str you can find the position of any text. Okay, so any string into the any text. So you have to find the position of second space. Okay, so here. So for the second space, so this will be actually the concept, but they have not given the start number. Okay, so no worries. I will tell you that how you can just find the last name or middle name like this. So they have just given the mid function, but in str they have not given that from where you just you want to start and right. So they have not given that kind of a functionality. So no worries. So I'll let you know that how you can just identify this one. Is it clear, Ravinder? Any doubt till here? Is it clear, Ravinder? Hello? Ravinder, can you hear me? Ravinder, are you there? You are on the mute actually. Okay, so I'm just giving you an assignment. So what you have to do, So suppose you have a few name over here, right? Like this way, you have all these names. So here, suppose you have employee name. So what you have to do, you have to read this data. Okay, you have to read this data and you have to separate the first name and last name over here. Okay, so this is your first assignment where you have to separate the first name and the last name. And the second assignment is suppose if you have the first and the last name. Okay, here this is your, I'm just giving as this is your assignment 1, assignment 2. Okay, so assignment 2 is basically the vice versa case. Okay, so for example, here you have the first name and the last name and you have to merge the name. Okay, you have to concatenate name. Okay, so you have to concatenate your first name and last name over here. Okay, so this is your assignment and this is your assignment 2. Okay, so I have given you these two assignments which you have to complete. Okay, so just try both assignments, and if you face any kind of a challenges, so then we will just move on. So I will share this with Ajay, so you can just do the practice over there. So he will just share with you and you have to complete this assignment, then we will just connect for the next session. Okay, okay, so take care, Ravinder. Bye.